If you think eggs are just something you scramble or boil without a second thought, you have been missing techniques Chinese cooks have refined for centuries to turn this single ingredient into something silky, fluffy, and genuinely impressive. Chinese chefs and grandmothers have used eggs for cooking, preserving, cleaning, and even gentle home remedies far beyond a basic breakfast. Today we are counting down 21 clever egg tricks that will genuinely blow your mind and make your cooking easier than ever. Stay until the end because number 1 is the complete method Chinese chefs use to guarantee silky, restaurant-quality eggs every single time. Number 21. The water bath crack test. Most people guess at egg freshness by checking the date on the carton alone, never actually testing the egg itself. Fill a bowl with enough cold water to submerge an egg completely. Lower the egg in gently and watch how it settles. A fresh egg sinks flat to the bottom and lies completely on its side, since its internal air pocket stays small and its overall density remains high. An older egg tilts upright or floats as that air pocket grows larger over time through gradual moisture loss. Home cooks across Guangdong province shopping at wet markets, where eggs often arrive without printed dates, have used this exact water test for generations to judge freshness before buying or cooking. Test a few eggs from your carton before committing them to a delicate dish like steamed custard, where freshness genuinely affects the final texture. What sits flat at the bottom of the bowl is fresh, dense, and reliable enough for any recipe that depends on it. Number 20. Room temperature before cooking. Most people pull eggs straight from the refrigerator and crack them directly into a hot pan without a second thought. Cold eggs hit hot oil or a hot pan and cause an uneven temperature shock, slowing coagulation on one side of the egg, while the other side overcooks before the center ever catches up. Set your eggs out on the counter for 20 minutes before cooking, or submerge them still in the shell in warm water for 5 minutes if you are short on time. Restaurant cooks across Shanghai. Preparing eggs for breakfast service always pull their eggs out well ahead of the rush, never cooking straight from a cold refrigerator no matter how busy the kitchen gets. This small adjustment changes how evenly the egg sets from edge to center. The eggs that follow cook through evenly, coming out tender and consistently textured, rather than rubbery in some spots and undercooked in others. Number 19. The chopstick whisk technique. Most people whisk eggs with a fork in random circular motions, never paying attention to direction or consistency. Hold a single chopstick and beat the eggs firmly in one consistent direction, never switching back and forth for a full 30 seconds. Consistent one-directional beating builds even viscosity throughout the mixture, incorporating air uniformly rather than creating uneven pockets the way random fork strokes often do. Home cooks across Beijing preparing eggs for steamed dishes or stir-fries have always favored chopsticks over a fork, treating direction and rhythm as part of proper technique rather than a minor detail. This single habit takes no extra time but noticeably changes the final texture of whatever the eggs become. What results is a smoother, airier mixture that scrambles or steams into something noticeably lighter and silkier than eggs beaten carelessly. Number 18. Steamed egg custard. Silky every time. Most people pour beaten eggs directly into a steaming dish, ending up with a custard full of unwanted holes and a bubbly, uneven surface. Cantonese households across Guangzhou, serving steamed egg custard as a near-daily comfort dish, always strain their eggs before steaming, treating it as a non-negotiable step passed down through generations. Whisk 3 eggs with 1½ cups of warm water at a precise 1 to 1½ ratio. Strain through a fine mesh sieve into your steaming dish to remove any remaining air bubbles or unbeaten bits. Cover the dish loosely with foil and steam on medium-low heat for 12 minutes. Straining and gentle heat together prevent the rapid osmosis-driven bubbling that ruins texture under high direct steam. The custard that results comes out silky, smooth, and completely free of holes from edge to center. Number 17. Velvet egg white stir-fry. Most people scramble whole eggs without separating them, missing the cloud-like texture that egg whites alone can achieve. Separate 4 egg whites from their yolks completely, discarding any trace of yolk that might slip in. Whisk briefly with 1 teaspoon of cornstarch and a pinch of salt. Restaurant chefs across Shanghai preparing delicate banquet dishes rely on egg whites alone for this exact cloud-like texture, reserving whole eggs for heartier, more rustic preparations. Pour the whisked whites into a wok with very low, gentle heat and 1 tablespoon of oil. Stir slowly and continuously with chopsticks until just barely set. Gentle heat allows slow, controlled denaturation of the egg white proteins, keeping the structure light and airy rather than tight and rubbery. What results is delicate, cloud-like, and remarkably soft in a way whole scrambled eggs never quite achieve. Number 16. Tea eggs, marbled perfectly. Most people boil tea eggs and hope for an attractive crack pattern, leaving the result entirely up to chance. Crack the shells of 6 hard-boiled eggs gently all over using the back of a spoon, without removing any shell. Simmer the eggs in a mixture of 2 black tea bags, 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 star anise, and 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar for 45 minutes. Street vendors across Shanghai, selling tea eggs from large simmering pots, have added vinegar to their braising liquid for generations, treating it as the difference between a faded result and a genuinely striking one. The acid lowers the pH of the braising liquid, which helps the tea and soy compounds penetrate the cracked shell more evenly through gentle hydrolysis of the egg white surface just beneath it. Let the eggs cool in the liquid for at least 2 hours, or ideally overnight, before peeling. The eggs that emerge carry a deep, intricate marbled pattern with rich color, reaching all the way through to the yolk. Stay with me because number 8 is coming up, and it solves a problem most people never even realize they have been creating in their own kitchen. Number 15. Salted duck eggs at home. Most people buy salted duck eggs from a jar, never realizing the entire process takes only a few simple ingredients and some patience. Households across Guangdong province, curing duck eggs in large ceramic jars, have made salted eggs this exact way for generations, valuing the deep orange yolk above all else. Dissolve 1 cup of coarse salt into 4 cups of water, fully cooled. Submerge 12 whole duck eggs completely in the brine inside a clean jar. Seal and store in a cool, dark place for 3 weeks. The salt slowly draws moisture out of the yolk through diffusion, concentrating its fat and pigment into a smaller, denser, deeper orange center. Most people assume the rich color and texture of a salted yolk require additives or dye, never realizing salt alone achieves it. Once cured, the eggs come out with whites that taste cleanly salty and yolks that turn rich, orange, and pleasantly grainy. Number 14. Century egg pairing. Most people eat century egg completely on its own, missing the contrast that traditionally makes the dish work. The strong aroma of a century egg develops through a slow, alkaline fermentation process during curing, producing a distinctive sulfurous depth that benefits from something sharp alongside it. Households across Guangzhou serving century egg with pickled ginger or a vinegar-based dipping sauce treat the pairing as essential rather than optional, never serving the egg plain at the table. Slice 1 century egg into wedges. Serve alongside 2 tablespoons of pickled ginger or a small dish of black vinegar with a few drops of sesame oil. Most newcomers to century egg skip the pairing entirely and find the flavor overwhelming on its own. Served this way, the egg's rich, custardy yolk and the sharp pickled accompaniment balance into something genuinely complex and surprisingly pleasant. Number 13. The cold start, hard boil. Most people drop eggs directly into already boiling water, often ending up with cracked shells and unevenly cooked yolks. Place your eggs into a pot and cover completely with cold water. Bring slowly to a boil over medium heat, then immediately reduce to a gentle simmer for 10 minutes. Cooks across Sichuan province preparing eggs for tea eggs or salads have always started with cold water, considering a sudden thermal shock from boiling water the main reason shells crack and yolks turn uneven. The slow, gradual temperature rise allows heat to penetrate evenly through the entire egg before the white ever firms up around an unevenly heated center. Most people associate hard boiling with simply dropping eggs into a rolling boil, never realizing the starting temperature matters just as much as the cooking time itself. The yolks that result are evenly set from edge to center, with whites that stay smooth and rarely crack during cooking. Number 12. Peeling boiled eggs instantly. Most people peel hot-boiled eggs straight from the pot, fighting stubborn shell fragments that cling tightly to the white underneath. Cooks across Beijing preparing large batches of boiled eggs for tea eggs or salads have shocked their eggs in ice water for generations, treating it as a basic, non-negotiable step. The moment the eggs finish cooking, transfer them immediately into a bowl of ice water for 5 minutes. Fermentation gases that build up naturally inside the shell during boiling contract rapidly under the sudden cold, pulling the membrane away from the egg white and creating a thin, helpful gap between the two. Most people skip the ice bath entirely, assuming peeling difficulty depends only on how fresh the egg happened to be. The shell slides off in large, clean pieces, leaving behind a smooth, intact white every single time. Number 11. egg drop soup without clumps. Cantonese households across Guangzhou making egg drop soup as a quick weeknight staple have always poured their eggs the exact same careful way for generations, never rushing this single step. Most people pour beaten egg into hot soup all at once, watching it clump into rubbery strands instead of forming delicate ribbons. Bring 2 cups of broth to a gentle simmer. Whisk 1 egg thoroughly. Drizzle it into the broth in a thin, slow stream while stirring the soup gently in one direction with a fork. The slow, steady pour allows controlled gelation of the egg proteins as they meet the hot liquid, forming thin, delicate strands rather than dense clumps that drop too fast and tangle together. Most recipes simply say to add beaten egg without specifying speed or technique, leaving the result entirely up to chance. The soup that results carries silky, delicate ribbons of egg suspended evenly throughout, exactly the texture this comforting dish is known for. Hit that subscribe button right now because number 4 is coming up, and it is a remedy most grandmothers reach for before anything from a pharmacy. Number 10. Fried rice with golden grains. Most people scramble eggs separately and stir them into fried rice at the end, missing a technique that coats every single grain of rice in color and flavor before any heat is ever applied. Separate 2 egg yolks from their whites carefully, keeping the whites completely intact for later. Mix the yolks directly into 3 cups of cold, day-old rice before it ever touches the wok, stirring thoroughly until every single grain turns lightly golden and evenly coated. The yolk's natural fat and protein coat each grain individually, and when the rice finally hits the hot wok, the yolk undergoes a rapid Maillard reaction that develops deep golden color and aroma at exactly the same time. Restaurant cooks across Guangzhou, serving golden egg fried rice as a true signature dish, have used this exact yolk coating method for generations, rather than scrambling eggs separately and stirring them in later. Cook the reserved egg whites separately in a small amount of oil. Chop them finely and fold them back into the rice near the very end of cooking. The rice that results comes out golden, glossy, and richly fragrant in a way egg stirred in at the end never quite achieves, no matter how careful the technique. Number 9. The savory egg pancake. Most people think of eggs only as a breakfast side dish, never realizing they can easily form the entire base of a quick, satisfying savory pancake on their own. Whisk 2 eggs with 2 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of water, 1 finely chopped scallion, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt until the batter turns completely smooth and lump-free. Households across Taiwan and southern China making this exact breakfast staple street side have poured a thin layer into a hot oiled pan for generations, ready to eat in under 5 minutes flat. Pour the mixture into a lightly oiled hot pan and swirl the pan gently to coat the surface thinly and evenly. Cook for 90 seconds per side until lightly golden and set throughout. As the thin batter cooks, surface moisture escapes rapidly through sublimation-like evaporation, helping the pancake set quickly into a tender, slightly chewy texture rather than a dense, heavy one. Most people assume a proper savory pancake requires far more ingredients, equipment, or time than this remarkably simple version actually needs to come together. The pancake comes out tender, lightly chewy, and fragrant with scallion in every single bite, tasting far more complex than its short ingredient list ever suggests. Number 8. Preserving egg whites. Most people pour leftover egg whites straight down the drain the moment a recipe only calls for yolks, treating the whites as kitchen waste rather than a genuinely usable ingredient worth keeping around. Pour leftover egg whites into ice cube tray compartments, 1 white per section, filling each compartment evenly. Freeze for 4 hours until completely solid. Then transfer the frozen cubes into a labeled freezer bag for long-term storage. Frozen storage slows lipid oxidation and bacterial growth far more effectively than refrigeration alone, keeping the whites genuinely usable for months, rather than just a few short days in the fridge. Home cooks across Beijing preparing dishes that call for yolks only, like certain custards and delicate pastries, have frozen their leftover whites for generations rather than wasting a single drop of them. Most people assume egg whites spoil too quickly to bother saving at all, tossing them out without ever giving it a second thought. Thawed in the refrigerator overnight, the whites whisk and cook exactly like fresh ones, with nothing lost in texture, volume, or overall quality. Number 7. Using eggshells as a natural cleaner. Most people toss eggshells straight into the trash without a second glance, never realizing they double as a surprisingly effective and gentle scrubbing tool for stubborn cookware. Crush 2 clean, dry eggshells into small, manageable pieces. Add them to a pan along with a small amount of water and a few drops of dish soap to help loosen things further. Calcium carbonate, the same compound that makes up the eggshell itself, acts as a gentle abrasive against stuck-on food without scratching most cookware surfaces the way harsher scrubbers often do. Grandmothers across rural Sichuan province, scrubbing pots over open flames for generations, have used crushed eggshells as a frugal, reliable cleaning tool long before steel wool pads were common in any kitchen. Swirl the shell pieces around the pan using a sponge or cloth, scrubbing firmly in small circles against any stuck residue until it begins to lift away cleanly. Rinse thoroughly afterward under warm running water. The pan comes out clean, scratch-free, and noticeably brighter than it was before you started. Number 6. Eggshell plant fertilizer. Crush 4 clean, dry eggshells into a fine powder using a mortar or a sealed bag and a rolling pin, working until the pieces are small and consistent throughout. Sprinkle 2 tablespoons directly into the soil around a houseplant, or steep the crushed shells in 1 cup of water overnight and use the resulting water to feed the plant instead. As the crushed shell breaks down slowly in soil, it releases calcium through gradual precipitation into the surrounding earth, supporting stronger root development and healthier cell wall structure in many common houseplants over time. Households across Yunnan province growing herbs and vegetables in small courtyard gardens have used crushed eggshells as a free, natural fertilizer for generations, rather than spending money on commercial plant food. Most people throw eggshells directly into the trash without a second thought, never considering their genuinely useful second life as a simple gardening tool sitting right in the kitchen. Plants fed this way often show fuller, greener, more vibrant growth within just a few weeks of consistent, regular use. Drop a comment right now with which one of these 21 egg tricks has surprised you the most. We are almost to the final 2, and they tie everything together. Number 5. The eggshell coffee clarifier. Households across Guangzhou brewing large pots of coffee for family gatherings have added crushed eggshell directly to their grounds for generations, long before paper filters became common in most everyday kitchens. Most people assume bitterness in brewed coffee comes only from the beans themselves, never stopping to consider what else might genuinely be affecting the final taste of the cup. The natural alkalinity of crushed eggshell helps neutralize some of the acidic compounds released during brewing, softening sharp, bitter notes in the final cup without altering the coffee's core flavor. Crush 1 clean eggshell into small pieces. Add it directly to your coffee grounds before brewing using a traditional stovetop pot or a standard drip method, mixing it in evenly. Strain as you normally would once brewing finishes, discarding the shell fragments along with the used grounds. The coffee that results comes out smoother, noticeably less bitter, and far easier to drink black without needing any added sugar or cream to balance it out. Number 4. Soothing minor burns with egg white. Most people reach immediately for ice or a store-bought burn cream the moment a minor kitchen burn happens, never pausing to consider what else might already be sitting on the counter. Separate 1 egg white into a small, clean bowl. Apply it gently and directly onto a minor burn using a cotton ball or a clean fingertip, letting it air dry slightly before reapplying a second light layer. Egg white forms a thin, protective layer over the skin that helps protect the delicate keratin structure in the outer layer while it heals, shielding the area from further irritation or friction. Grandmothers across rural Hunan province have used egg white as a first response remedy for small kitchen burns for generations, long before specialty burn gels ever existed in any local pharmacy. This remedy works best when applied immediately after a burn happens and is intended only for very minor surface burns, never anything serious, deep, or involving broken skin. The area feels noticeably cooler and calmer within minutes of application, with the sting easing far faster than most people expect. Number 3. The double boiler steam method. Most people place custard or pudding mixtures directly over an open flame, watching helplessly as the bottom scorches or curdles long before the center ever has a chance to set properly. Indirect, gentle heat from a double boiler controls the rate of nucleation within the egg proteins, allowing them to set slowly and evenly rather than seizing unpredictably the way direct flame so often causes. Set a heat-proof bowl containing your custard mixture over a pot with 2 inches of barely simmering water, making absolutely sure the bowl never touches the water directly at any point. Households across Shanghai, preparing delicate egg-based desserts and steamed puddings, have always relied on indirect heat rather than direct flame, treating it as a basic, non-negotiable technique passed down through generations of home cooking. Stir gently and continuously for 10 full minutes until the mixture thickens evenly throughout, never rushing the process even when it feels slow. The custard that results comes out smooth, glossy, and completely free of any curdling or graininess, with a texture that feels genuinely restaurant-made. Number 2. Salting eggs before or after. Most people salt their eggs the very moment they crack them into the bowl, never realizing that something as small as timing actually changes the final texture in a meaningful way. Adding salt early draws moisture out of the egg proteins through osmosis, driven by increased salinity, breaking down their structure slightly before cooking ever begins, and resulting in a noticeably softer, more tender curd once cooked. Restaurant cooks across Sichuan province preparing scrambled eggs for delicate banquet dishes always salt early and let the mixture rest for 10 minutes before cooking, never once salting at the very end of the process. For silky, tender scrambled eggs, salt your beaten eggs thoroughly and let them sit for 10 minutes before cooking begins. For a firmer texture in dishes like simple fried eggs, salt only after cooking finishes completely. Most people treat salt timing as a minor afterthought rather than an active, controllable variable that genuinely affects the final texture of the dish. Salted early, the eggs come out noticeably softer and silkier than eggs salted at the very last second, a difference you can taste immediately. Number 1. The complete silky egg system, the most powerful egg secret of all. Chefs across Guangzhou, Shanghai, and Beijing, 3 regions with completely different signature egg dishes, all build toward the exact same underlying texture goal once eggs enter the kitchen. They never treat eggs as a single-step ingredient you simply crack and cook without further thought. They follow a complete sequence that touches nearly every egg dish they make, from steamed custard to fried rice to a simple bowl of scrambled eggs served at breakfast. Most people pick one trick from this list, maybe just the chopstick whisk or the cold water peel, and assume that alone guarantees a perfect result every time. That approach only ever gets you partway there. Here is the complete system. Start at room temperature, never straight from the fridge no matter how rushed you feel. Whisk in one consistent direction using a chopstick rather than a fork, building even texture from the very first stroke onward. Salt early if you want a soft, tender curd, and let the mixture rest for 10 minutes before it ever touches heat directly. Cook over gentle, controlled heat rather than high direct flame. Whether you are scrambling, steaming, or making a delicate custard from scratch, the salt and gentle resting period together encourage a more even emulsification between the egg's fat and protein structures, binding the mixture into something noticeably smoother than rushed eggs ever achieve on their own. Room temperature, one direction whisk. Salt early, rest 10 minutes. Gentle heat. Apply this sequence consistently across any egg dish you make, and the result comes out silky, tender, and remarkably restaurant quality every single time without fail. This is the system that changes everything. Bonus: the one-bowl morning prep. The night before, crack your eggs directly into a sealed container, rather than waiting until the morning rush to even begin. Whisk briefly using the chopstick technique, add a quarter teaspoon of salt, and refrigerate overnight in one single bowl, covered tightly to stay fresh. In the morning, simply pour the rested mixture straight into a hot pan, skipping the whisking and resting steps entirely since they already happened quietly overnight while you slept. Most people whisk, salt, and rest their eggs completely fresh every single morning, adding several extra minutes to an already rushed routine before work or school begins. Households across Beijing preparing quick breakfast for busy mornings have prepped their egg mixture the night before for generations, treating it as a simple, practical, time-saving habit rather than a shortcut that sacrifices any real quality. This single habit removes the biggest barrier between you and a properly rested, silky egg dish even on your busiest, most chaotic weekday morning. And that is exactly why we make these videos for you. If today's breakdown helped you, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another guide like this one. We have got more deep dives coming your way, from the hidden secrets of Chinese tofu techniques to 31 clever noodle hacks that will completely change how you cook at home, all designed to help you eat better and cook smarter every single day. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay sharp, stay silky, and keep cooking. Drop a comment below with the one egg trick you are trying first. Let us see which one wins.